everyone. For some reasons, I cannot do my presentation in front of you. Gail is so kind to allow me to record this video instead. I hope this video is good enough. The topic of my debate is will agricultural marine culture solve the overfishing problem, and my side is that yes, it will. The problem caused by the overfishing catch more and more public attention. I want to introduce you some facts of the global fisheries at first. By comparing the historic data, 90% of the top predators were removed since 1950s. The industrial fisheries generally remove more than 80% of the total community biomass after 15 years exploitation. As you can see in this picture, the marine fisheries supply have already exceeded the reachable potential since the 1990s, and there is almost 10 times increase in landing from 1940s to 1990s. Also, over half of the global fisheries are fully exploited. Almost 1/5 of them are overfished. Only one of them are recovering. As you can see here, the underexploited and moderately exploited fisheries only account to 1/3 of the global fisheries by the year of 2000. The consequences of the overfishing problem are severe. There are evidence shows that the overfishing can trigger the marine trophic cascade, fish down and through the marine food web. The consequence of the overfishing is delayed, since the overfishing caused ecological extinction, which can be observed years, decades, even centuries after the species already had been overfished. At last, overfishing simplifies the community structure and then cause regime shift. There are a lot of studies talk about how to manage overfishing problem. Agricultural marine culture is one of them. However, the effect of agriculture remains debatable. Today, I will present to you some evidence that agriculture do help to elevate the consequence of overfishing. First, the changing global market will encourage industry transformation from fishing to farming. For example, the price decrease in farming stocks. There's a table shows that the price of salmon in Alaska is decreased significantly. As you see, for the pink salmon, the decrease of price is 82% from 1984 to 1992, and 10% more decreased from 1988 to 2002. This huge decrease in price makes the fisher cannot offer their investment of capitals. In the same time, although the price of the farmed salmon also decreased by 61%, the diversity and the flexibility of the farming industry can buffer the loss. Besides, the market favors the stable product, the product with consistency and predictability. The wild catch only allowed in a short period in a year from June to September, and the size of the wild catch varies due to many reasons, like life cycle of individuals, climate change, food supply, disease, and so on. By the way, the fishers tend to maximize their profit in a short open period. Then, the salmon with unwanted size are disgusted in the sea, which causes the bycatch problem. Only a small number of the fish can enter the high-priced market. Well, this is why the overfishing problem gets worse and worse. On the other hand, the farming fish is controllable. It is ready for market at any time of the year, as you can pick the size and the cut. Even the color of the fish can be controlled through the food for the fish. This market favor will encourage industry transformation from fishing to farming. The effort people put in fishing will turn into farming, and then allow the wild stock to recover. Second, the agriculture is more and more sustainable than the past. For a long time, the agriculture is questioned for its demand of fish meal and fish oil, which is people believe it will aggravate the overfishing problem. However, the evidence shows that the increase of agriculture industry does not heavily increase the demand for fish meal. The farmer uses soybean and other vegetable meal to subsidize the need for fish meal. The production of as you can see, the production of cultured fan fish and shrimp was increased almost 5 times from 1986 to 2003. In the same time, there is no such dramatic increase in production of global fish meal. It's fluctuated between 5.5 to 7.5 million metric tons for last 2 decades. Also, the supply of the agriculture was stable between 2 to 2.5 million metric tons. Therefore, there is no strong correlation between the increase of agriculture and the demand for fish meal. Also, you can see here, the predicted fish meal is keep going up. However, the actual fish meal is decreased. Just like FYI, the agriculture is not the only use of fish meal. Land farming like pig chicken also use fish meal for long history. However, as in agriculture, the land farming production is increased at least 20%, where there is no such increase need for fish meal. Moreover, Entry and Tevester 2004 argued that the fish meal is not a unique protein source of agriculture. Instead, it only accounted for 4% of the global protein meals. They stated that the farmers used to use the fish meal for its good nutrients and the relative low price. But when the price of fish meal goes up, it can easily be replaced by vegetable meal, such as soybeans. In fact, the soybeans accounting more than half of the global protein meals. As the technique develop, the feeding efficiency of the vegetable meal goes up. Then it is not a hard choice for farmers to change their feeding source. Therefore, the marinculture can be sustainable by using vegetable instead of fish meal, which is feasible. And there is a lot of solutions being put forward to reduce the environmental impact of marine culture, to make it more environment friendly. For example, in the integrate marine culture system, basically it feeds fishing, uploading, and seaweed together to achieve the goals of nutrient recycling, reduce the water use, reduce the nutrient discharge, and high yield. In experiment, these goals are all achieved, and in fact, this pattern also practiced in many areas in Asia and Pacific. Third, the marine culture can save the overfished stocks. There are 2 cases suggest that farming can compensate and replace fishing. As an example, in British Columbia and Washington, 7 out of 10 salmon production from this area comes from farms, and the farming kept increased and compensates for the loss of the fishing, which indicated that the wild catch can be replaced by farming. As a case of scallop, there is a stable and huge amount of production in the farm, and little and changing production in the fisheries. As I told in the first advantage of marine culture, the marine culture definitely competed out of the wild catch product. Also, in this area, they sent seed from the culture to the seabed to restore the wild stocks. And the logical way to people state that the logical way to restore the overfishing stock is to shift the interest of fishing on them. The marine culture can do so. It gives new way for fishers to make life. In British Columbia, as an example, The marinculture industry provides more than 3,500 job positions and contributes a 600 million Canadian dollar per year. In 2004, the agriculture directly created 20 million full-time job positions in Asia. Thus, the marinculture industry do provide the new way for fishers instead of fishing and get the overfishing problem get more worse. Finally, I want to introduce you the stock enhancement program, which also linked to the agriculture. The stock enhancement program is raising novel or juniors in culture and then release them into the marine culture in marine environment to employ the wild runs. The result of Japan's program shows that the program works. Both scallop and flounder salmon stocks increased after 2 years the program running. In conclude, the marinculture can solve the overfishing problem because it has competitive advantage in the market, and it becomes more and more sustainable, environmental friendly. And last, it shifts the fishers' interest on fishing, so the wild stock have tend to recover. As the global population exceeds 6 billion, the marine culture is the most feasible and cost-effective way to meet the gap between demand and supply, and conserve the wild stock at the same time. Thank you. Here's my reference.